Hi, I'm Richard Karn, and you may have seen me on TV talking about the world's #1 expandable garden hose. Well, the brand new Pocket Hose Copperhead with Pocket Pivot is here, and it's a total game changer. Old-fashioned hoses get kinks and creases at the spigot, but the Copperhead's Pocket Pivot swivels 360 degrees for full water flow and freedom to water with ease all around your home. When you're all done, this rust-proof anti-burst hose shrinks back down to pocket size for effortless handling and tidy storage. Plus, your super light and ultra-durable Pocket Hose Copperhead is backed with a 10-year warranty. What could be better than that? I'll tell you what, an exciting radio-exclusive offer just for you. For a limited time, you can get a free Pocket Pivot and their 10-pattern sprayer with the purchase of any size Copperhead hose. Just text WATER to 64,000. That's WATER to 64,000 for your 2 free gifts with purchase. WATER to 64,000.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Pocket Hose. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at pockethose.com/terms.
Hey everybody, welcome to Creators to Creators today. Today we have a special guest.
Eddie Brown Jr.
All right, Eddie Brown in the house, finally. If you don't know, now you know. No, but we go way back. You are a director, writer, DP, editor, you do it all. And as of recently, drum roll, you also have an album, which blew my mind.
Working on an album, yes.
Yes, you're singing now. You can add that to your credits. That's pretty amazing.
I always could sing. I just didn't, I was always in the background on that kind of stuff. So
look at you hiding your talent.
Yep.
So let's talk about the beginning. The love for cinema, where did that come from?
Well, I was always a two-dimensional artist. So I can draw. I've won awards drawing, pictures, paintings, things like that. But I also like photography. So in the mix of all of that, I was also in band in high school and doing music on different instruments. So I had to think of a field that had all of those things combined. And that comes to movies. You can do all of that in movies. You can make music, you can record, film, you can edit, you can draw if you're into animation. Pretty much anything was open in that field. So I had that dream to go to Full Sail University like most filmmakers do. Seeing it was way too expensive, and I went to a lesser film school. But I learned a lot at the lesser film school, and that was 20 odd years ago, back in 2000. So I've been working behind the scenes in independent cinema since. So I've been from making music videos, editing films, features, shorts, commercials, also doing photography. Whatever somebody needed, I could get them done. I was like a one-stop shop for what I did. And the latest thing I added to my talent was audio engineering, which I did go to Full Sail and get certified in. And now I'm currently still at Full Sail getting my other degree in cinema.
All right.
So I can, solidify everything. But I learned a lot over the past 20 years just by working with different people in the industry. So I work with folks all around the world, from designing posters to flyers or making commercials or even trailers for people.
Right.
So there are trailers out there you've seen. I probably edited or did the sound for. You just didn't know.
That's pretty cool. You don't have like one thing that you do, and I think that's awesome. And that's what separates a lot of people from as far as work, right? Because the more categories you have to your resume, the more you're working, because most actors, it's just acting, right? And it's if the phone's not ringing, well, what else is there to do? So exactly. I like that why put yourself in a box? I always say, try new things and go out there, and you just never know. Because I don't think there's one way to success, quote unquote, I just think if you love what you do, it'll just come naturally, whatever it is that you do. I'm not going to try to sing, but
the singing thing, that comes from a childhood. I grew up in a church. You know, when you're in the church and you start doing that choir stuff, it kind of sticks with you. So, like
Right,
my
right,
mom can sing, my sister can sing, my he was in the instruments and can play pretty much anything. So I had a musical background on top of the artistry as well. So you
right,
kind of marry it together. I was the kid that had all the talent.
right,
But at the end of the day, my favorite thing to do is actually shoot. I love cinematography. You know,
right,
I like angling shots, getting it all in. But there's a kind of silent love to editing too. I know you say sometimes it can get on your nerves. It's a little tedious, but I think editing, you can put it all together, even if it's somebody else's projects. I
right,
worked on a lot of other people's projects where I wasn't the cinematographer, and they just here fix it, and that's my job to fix it. I'm pretty good at it. It's a natural thing. It's like a natural flow. As you're watching a scene, you got to know when to cut to that next section to
right,
bring that whatever feeling that director is trying to pursue. Because sometimes some editors don't know that. They just cut.
right,
You got to feel editing, as they say. You got to know what the motion of the scene, because you wasn't there when they shot it. So you
right,
don't know exactly. You're just going by the script and seeing what they said. Hey, we're gonna cut to this scene to this scene. But while you're watching it, you get that mood. And a lot of time, editors save films. Um,
right. Oh yeah,
Sometimes the composers save films too.
oh yeah,
So depending whether you're the music composer or the editor, sometimes you can save that film because that film might have not had that look or might not had everything that the director wants. So they give it to you and say, salvage this.
yeah,
And so I've
right,
actually gotten told that. Can you
yeah,
salvage my project? Like they gave it to an editor and they messed it up and then they give it to you and like salvage this. You have a knack for this. So yeah,
right,
I try to have a knack for trailers and things like that. Tell a story real quick without you're trying to assemble a project that you had nothing to do with. All you read was a synopsis. You're trying to get their vision out to them. You know what I mean?
right. Absolutely,
So
absolutely. And that's not an easy job. So I mean, not just anyone can do that. So the fact that you have that knack, you have that ear to know when to like, okay, this sounds good, or those pieces. So that I mean, that's incredible.
yeah.
And so with that, even with the knack of sound, which
Mhm.
brings me to singing, I gotta get into that. So it's R&B, the new album that you're working on, and I believe it's like a joint project, right?
Yeah, me and my brother-in-law, we been singing together for years, just, sitting around the house, chilling, singing. His mom, late mom, she always used to say, and my wife used to say, hey, y'all should make a singing group. Y'all sound good together. Y'all harmonize well together. So now I have all this studio equipment, and it was a coronavirus. We're all stuck in the house. So we just said, hey, I start making some tracks and composing some music, and we just start putting it together. And
Right.
now we're 7 songs in. We got about I would say 5 more songs to complete the album.
All
And I
right.
would say it'd be finished by November. But right now, online, you can go on Spotify, find Two Faces, but instead of an S, it's a dollar sign instead of an
Okay.
S. And
Nice.
with that, there's a song there called Situations. Situations, I'm doing the singing and Big Lou is doing the actual rapping in this particular song. But we have songs where we do singing alternate. Some songs I rap, some songs I sing.
Right.
I know it sounds crazy, Eddie's rapping, but I can rap too.
I love
I
it.
can rap. I mean, if you know me, you like, I don't see it, but
I mean,
yeah,
I know you.
yeah, you know me, so you don't see
I
it.
know, but I know, no, but I know that you like to, like, I'm not surprised that that was the next progression, because you like to just do something else and the next thing and the next, and that's
Yeah,
great. I think that's what artists, we as creators do. We like to reinvent ourselves, right?
yeah.
So I think that's admirable, and I think it's awesome. Go
And
you.
I actually think people like it. It's different. It's kind of more of a '90s to. It's kind of our generational type music. So
Okay.
because a lot of music you hear nowadays is kind of what did they say?
Like mumble.
Yeah, mumble rap and things like that. With us, we at least you can hear everything we're saying.
Right.
And two, we got that kind of old spirit, so you're kind of getting a little taste of that '90s groove in some of our music. So for us old heads out there and older folks, they're gonna probably pull to our music. I don't know how the younger folks are gonna do with it. They might like the beat.
Say like, oh, I love it. I don't know what you're saying, but it's fire.
Exactly. So now I was going to say, so with that being said, I don't know how we're going to go with the younger crowd, but hopefully they like our stuff. Something, now I'm going to lie, it is explicit. There's an
Of
explicit
course.
mark on there, but
Of course.
we're having fun. We're having fun making an album, you know.
Good. I'm glad that you're having fun. And notice you said not just sing, but sang. That's two different things. So be prepared
That's
when you
that
get to
that's that southern part of us, you know.
right.
That Florida don't came out. He said sang. So you know,
I love
which
it.
for those that don't know, me and her grew up about 75 miles apart from each other
Florida. We
in
come from
Florida.
Florida.
She from Gainesville, I'm from Perry.
Perry, Gainesville in the house.
So yeah,
Have you
so
always
it's
had like the twang? I've never had the
always
Floridian twang, but I can turn it on because I can hear it. Even like no matter what part of the South I'm in, I'll hear it. And I can just like and I can just like mimic it. It's like, oh man, it's so fun.
I I sometimes turn it on, turn it off. My wife said, I never heard you talk so southern until I married you. Because when I first met her, she never heard me talk like that.
You're
But
like
then
very proper.
yeah, then she get me. He's like, "Oh, he sounds so southern." And they pick at the words I say and things like that. I'd be like, "Well, you know, I'm being me. That's being real." But yeah, I
Yeah,
am from the South, so that's another thing about it. You're gonna hear that southern sound somewhat in the album with
I
the
love it.
drops and the bass. And Lou, Big Lou, he's from your side of town. He's from Long Beach, so
All
you
right.
got that California thing going too. So you got California meets South, and we hit right in the
Wow.
middle, and that's gonna be the album.
That's gonna be a
Um,
really fun. That's it's a fun vibe. I like that. So we'll definitely be looking out for that and keep us posted when that comes out. We'll check it out for sure. All right. I mean, it's besides this music venture. You do, we know you do editing. I know that the love for film has, always been there for cinema. Is there anything that you've been seeing now as far as like, since we're all in COVID, there's so much content being put out, right? Like
mhm.
that you notice and you're just like, huh, that's interesting. Is there like is the work different now that they've been putting out? Like it's interesting. It's a lot of projects that it's
From what
out.
I've seen,
Mhm.
and I'm kind of wondering, like some of these projects are just popping up like water, and you're like,
Yeah.
was they just sitting in a storage unit somewhere, and they
Right,
just said, "Hey, it's time to pull them out," because
right,
that's
right.
what it seems like.
It does.
Um, Netflix doing it a lot, but
Yeah.
I think people that's actually creating content right now, a lot of them are trying to spin it towards the COVID. I'm doing it myself, so
Right.
I'm writing a film that I'm trying to have produced by January. It's COVID based. It's the background is the COVID because that's what the world we live in right now. But the foreground of the film is an actual drama. So you putting that in with that spin, I guess a lot of people's doing that now. Because I don't know if you noticed when this COVID thing started, what was the first top movies on Netflix? They were all quarantine, zombie movies, and stuff like that. They pushed it. Then
Yeah.
after the Black Lives Matters thing happened with George Floyd, then you had all the black films being showcased on Hulu and Netflix. So what we're seeing in the world is also shaping how the entertainment world is. We can't go to the theaters anymore. Well, not
Oh,
until they
soon.
reopen.
Soon. I'm
Soon,
so excited for that. I'm gonna be the first
yeah.
one there like every day, like
Here they're open. They're actually open here, um,
oh
but I'm not going yet. I want
no.
to, get the guinea pig out the way first before I go stepping up in there. But they are open here. They're doing a lot
Yeah.
more drive-in stuff here, trying to push the drive-in, which is another good thing. The drive-ins are coming back, and it's been a great thing for independent cinema because we, as independent filmmakers, we can put our content out more now, easier than back in the day. because
Right.
the studios aren't controlling everything right now. They
Right.
can't. So who is controlling it is online, like Tubi TV, stuff like that. Amazon, they're the ones winning right now, and everybody's stuck at home. It's a good thing for us, so we can push our stuff. Like I've seen all your stuff just because we're in COVID. If it weren't COVID, I wouldn't have seen all your stuff like that because I've been busy. But because it's COVID, hey, I'm on Amazon. Let me see what Meosha did. Okay, I click on it, and at Prime, hey, watch all your stuff. And I've been doing that with a lot of independent filmmakers now.
That's awesome.
So for us, it's a good thing. I mean,
Yeah.
I see it as a good thing. And the
Oh yeah.
content that we put out, some, conspiracy theory kind of stuff, because there's a lot of that going on too. But for the most part, people putting out things that they know they can actually make on a budget as well.
Right. Exactly. I mean, the this new film that just was on a budget was called The Host.
Uh-huh.
That was, I think that was on Shutter, but just I recently, a friend of mine who's a filmmaker was like, watch it. It's really interesting. They use the concept of, being inside, and they all shot it on a computer screen, just
Mm-hmm.
4 screens. And it was just like the plot, and it was pretty, I mean, it was really well done for what they, for what they did, and for nothing.
Yeah.
And it had got like 6.7 rating on, I think, Rotten Tomatoes. It's doing really well. Everyone's talking about it. I mean, to me, I felt like it was a really cool, smart move to make while in COVID, to make
Yeah.
something. But we're going to definitely see a lot of those kind of type of films coming out soon,
Oh
because
yeah.
people are still kind of afraid to be around each other, like, which is interesting because the cinema, that film, they're still on sets here and there. They're shooting, but it's really like kind of smaller sets, like one cameraman, some
Yeah.
actors, and you have to get tested so it's an interesting time right now.
Yeah. And that's the other thing, if you're going to shoot a film, all the protocols you have to follow with the COVID virus and all of that kind of makes it hard to do what you really want. Like someone was saying to me the other day, how do they shoot love scenes now since
Yeah.
COVID? You
Yeah.
can't really shoot a love scene. They ain't even testing age. You're testing a born virus or whatever. So those are things, I guess, that people have to play camera tricks with, and because there's a camera trick to make people like they're in a bed together, even though they're not. They can be 50 feet apart with the right lens. They can look like they're sitting right next to each other. So now people have to get creative, and really pull out what they can do in their skill set, because that's the biggest thing now. It's about your skills and creativity. That's going to push it to the next level, I think, with what's going on.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's a really good time to just create as much as you can, because next year, it's definitely gonna get lost in the shuffle. I think things are gonna
Yeah.
get back to normal pretty fast, because I mean, Hollywood, it's like we gotta make our money.
Yeah.
So at this point, and honestly, if you get the COVID, again, not saying to go out there and be stupid, but like if you get it, it's not like it's not like there's so many people that are like so scared of getting it, and they're like, I'm gonna die. I'm like, that's
Yeah.
not necessarily the thing that's gonna happen. You're not. It just depends. I know a lot of people that got it,
Uh-huh.
and they're fine now. So they just kind of had to do the wait. But it's gonna be around for a while until they get the vaccines, to people.
Yeah.
Would you take the vaccine?
Necessarily, I don't want to. I'm gonna say I don't want to, because you got to see what it does to people first.
Right.
If you're gonna do it on the end. Be that person that takes it, 6 months down the line. But unless they make us take it,
Right.
which is a whole different story. That's a movie in itself.
That's
Uh,
the end of the world.
yeah, that's a whole nother story in itself. But I think if you're fine and you've been going through, you got a good immune system, why take something to mess it up? I don't think I
Yeah.
ever started feeling any pains in my body until I got a flu shot. And I
Right.
never took a flu shot in my life. The moment I take a flu shot, my body starts doing weird stuff. So I
Right.
think sometimes we mess ourselves up by running to get the vaccine on something that you probably was already fine in the first beginning. Some of these people already caught COVID, had it, didn't know it, and got rid of it. Probably caught it a million times, their immune system can handle it. Some
Right.
people's immune systems can't, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
not going into conspiracy of population control or nothing, but some people just can't handle it. Some can.
Yeah, and yeah, so I guess it's, the best, may the best immune system win.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I say. It's like just
Take
kind
your
of,
vitamin C. Disclaimer. Uh,
yeah, always, yeah, take your vitamins. It's very
take
important
your
for sure.
vitamins. But
um, but that's funny. It's funny. But as far as creating, is there anything that you want or that you like as far as like as a film director and a cinematographer, anything that you're working on right now that you're like, you know what, I'm gonna put something out right now and post it on YouTube.
well, actually, either today or tomorrow.
All
I
right, all
I
right.
did do a short film.
I
It's
thought you did.
it's called it's called Dark Space, and
Nice.
it's a piece about multiple. I can't say multiple personalities. I would say a person that's dealing with something in their head.
Okay.
Um, because it's no multiple personalities, but it's basically a girl. She wakes up, she's tied to a pole, and there's a incendiary device. I'm not gonna say that B word, but there's a device sitting over there with a countdown, and then herself comes out the shadows to tell her to just die. You know,
Right, right,
don't fight, just die. And come to find out that um, device was her cell phone. Once it goes off, it's her cell phone. She's on top of this bridge, and she's thinking about jumping.
right.
So the transition from what was going on in her head to what she's actually thinking is the two
What's for like
differences in
reality?
the
Yeah,
reality. Yeah.
that's
So
awesome.
she's sitting on the thing and she's thinking about jumping. You don't know if she jumps or not because I cut it off to make that cliffhanger, but that's pretty much what it is. I
Okay,
shot it with a very minimum crew, like 4 people. We did it all within a 7-hour period, and
nice.
I I used some decent equipment to shoot it, so you can tell there's a good amount of equipment that was used. That's why I made it look so easy. But I think people like it.
All right, awesome. I'm really happy that you're creating in this time. And I think that's inspiring to a lot of people because there's a lot of people that they just don't know what to do right now. And I think that is what we have to do is create and continue to look at the positives versus what's happening in the world and, kind of just stay here and reflection is important at this time. There's so many things that we can do, but definitely always stay creative, never stop. Like that is like the thing that I think is the most important that yeah. And it's funny, every creator that I have on the show, whether it's filmmakers, actors, whatever, they're always like, never stop. And that's what I noticed that everyone does on the show. Like, I like that. You're not stopping. You're just going to
Yeah,
continue to create.
yeah. If I'm either
That's important.
creating music or whether it's video, film, like as soon as I get off of this, I'm gonna be editing a commercial for a restaurant. So it's like you're constantly doing something to keep moving. Because
Right.
I think with this, it mentally messes with a lot of people. Because if I didn't have this, I'll probably go crazy.
Mm.
You see these couples and families, they're just going stir crazy because they have nothing to do. Well, us as filmmakers and musicians and things like that, we have something to do. We can push. So
Right.
if I get too bored, hey, let me make a song
Right.
or
Exactly.
let me write something. Let me go writing. You got to do something to keep yourself busy. But
Right.
for the most part, I think if we all just keep on moving in that direction, you'll get that project you'll probably come out of this on top, be honest with you.
Definitely. Definitely. And that's the thing. Any last words of advice to anyone that wants to do what you're doing or wants to get in the industry? What advice would you give them?
If you don't have the money to go to full sail or film school, YouTube is the best free school. I call it YouTube University. A practice I used to do was every morning I would watch at least 2 videos on YouTube learning a skill I did not know, whether it's learning a software, whether it's learning a technique or something, because even in school, they're not going to teach you everything that you need to know. So what you do is learn from others. Like you can learn how to make a lighting system under $100 that can do what the big lights can do. You're going to learn that by going on YouTube or learn some editing techniques or transitions or whatever. You're going to learn that all on YouTube or even a friend or somebody, but reach out to people and learn, because you don't have to go to school. I mean, they say you do, but you don't have to go to school to be a filmmaker or musician or producer, any of that stuff. All you got to do is take the stuff that's in front of you and learn. That's my word of advice to anybody that wants to learn this stuff, because it's easy, it's fun. It can be stressful, but it's easy and fun. Production is stressful. Post-production is easy to me, but production is stressful. You know that. You're always on production. You know what I'm talking about.
Thank
Don't
you
want to
so
comment.
much.
Don't want to comment on that one.
No, but everything you said, amen to that, and I agree with that one wholeheartedly. Yeah, you don't have to go to film school. You don't have to. There's no one way to go. There are multiple ways to the end goal of whatever it is that you're trying to do. But just, I think the most important thing is just to never give up or listen to what others have to tell you. Like, oh, like if they say, oh, you're never going to do it, don't believe that. You can do it.
Oh, you gotta love the haters. The haters.
Gotta love the haters. Haters are great. Haters are great. So thank you so much for coming on. This was so much fun. This was a great conversation. It's been a while since we've seen each other last, but we're definitely going to do something again one day when all this is over.
I'm going to try to get you to come and shoot one of my music videos.
Hey, I'd like that. That'll be fun. That'll be fun. You're right there, what, Texas, right? Texas?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're not too far at all.
So, yeah, come on. You're going to Atlanta, just stop by on your way.
Come on down to Texas. All right. No,
everything is bigger in Texas. You know? The food is great.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you so much for coming on. It was a pleasure. Yeah, let us know where you can find your handles.
You can go to mysteryvisions.co or .com. I'm on Facebook, The Real Mr. E. You can spell that out. I'll send you the spelling for that. But yeah, on Instagram, The Real Mr. E. And two faces, the number 2 faces with the $sign. And that's where you can find us.
All right, cool.
And I'm on Spotify, so start listening. Add us to your playlist.
Yeah, check it out, guys. Go check it out. Download it, listen to it, bump it in your car, wherever you are. Just check it out.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you guys for watching, and always remember to live, love, laugh. Bye, guys.